So, we got an ARC 3.0 to go over. I'm gonna react to it, I'm gonna pause, so I have this thing that's gonna read it out loud. So, when it reads out loud, it's gonna do everything. So, when that happens, when it reads out loud, we're gonna start it. So, as it reads out loud, I will go over it, put my thoughts on it, and stuff. So, sit back, this is the long one, let's get right into it.
In 2022, the original trio of elemental subclasses that power Guardians in Destiny 2 have been undergoing a major overhaul. Void was the first subclass to get the 3.0 treatment with the launch of the Witch Queen expansion. Season of the Haunted welcomes Solar 3.0, and soon, it will be time for Arc wielders to receive their upgrades. The Destiny 2 development team has been hard at work on this subclass revamp, making sure that the new version of the Arc subclass brings the thunder.
This is where I said I was gonna jump in, and it was not for the game. I'm really hoping that I'm literally looking forward to Titans. I want to know what they do with Titans Thunder Crash. I'm blind reading this. I haven't read it, so.
The Destiny 2 development team has been hard at work on this subclass revamp, making sure that the new version of the Arc subclass brings the thunder. Having new subclass redesigns with Void and Solar, the team has spent a great deal of time zeroing in the essence of what a subclass revamp is all about, making sure that every aspect of gameplay and every ability and feature fits into the player fantasy. To get there, it all starts with inspiration. Arc is really just go fast and hit stuff, said Destiny designer Sam Dunn, when asked about the core fantasy that powered the Arc 3.0 revamp. We call it the whole W single quote subclass. Everything is built around moving forward and enabling aggression and those abilities. Powering that high speed, high impact level. One of the prime inspirations for Arc 3.0 was the 2009 action movie Arc 2, High Voltage. The mid-cap action flick stars Jason Statham as most Hitman who has his own story and replaced with battery. To stay alone, Statham must keep his body electrically charged in increasingly outrageous ways. It's non-stop, it's relentless, and it's a great place to start for the fantasy the team wanted to achieve. Namely ridiculous blazing speed and maximum impact upon arrival. We had a lot of ideas about, oh, you get this buff and then, much like Jason Statham's heart, you need to keep it ticking by staying in the fight, said Destiny designer Mike Humboldt. We strayed a bit from that just because it's hard to achieve that in gameplay of Destiny, where you're deleting 75 monsters in a room and then running through a hallway. But that was the emotional fantasy that we wanted to go for, very much like living on the edge.
Thunder Crash!
Audience who have spent some time with the revamped versions of Void or Solar know the basics of where to begin with Arc 3.0. As with those other subclass options, Arc 3.0 will give players more flexibility over customizing their Guardian's powers to suit their playstyle, through the introduction of aspects and fragments. In addition, new and returning class and melee abilities have been built and refactored for the modern Destiny 2 sandbox, making the subclass more powerful than ever. Rounding out new abilities. Before we dive into the class-specific Arc abilities, let's talk about the buffs and debuffs that are key to the Arc 3.0 experience. First up is a new buff, Amplified, which is key to the Arc 3.0 experience. An amplified Guardian is faster, both in terms of movement speed and in terms of their weapon handling, and more agile, able to perform long slides that can function as a devastating setup for some of the attacks that follow. Unlike other damage type buffs, players don't need to equip any specific aspects or fragments to become amplified. By default, all arc classes become amplified after rapidly defeating targets with any arc damage, and equip aspects and fragments offer additional ways to become or benefit from being amplified. After sprinting for a few seconds, an amplified guardian will gain another boost in speed, gaining a sizable PvE damage resistance buff, and enabling an even longer slide ability. Even if a player is no longer amplified, as long as they keep sprinting, the speed booster buff will stay active. Speed booster probably took the longest for me to get on board within that you were already moving faster to begin with, said Hobo. When asked about the process of developing and refining the builds for Arc 3.0, adding PvE damage resistance to speed booster to cemented as a strong clothing tool, and seeing it being used to move from one cover to the next in playtesting really brought it all together for me. You start sprinting and then you hear this audio swell start to come up and then you're like a jet engine, rocketing around the arena. It's awesome. On the debuff side, Arc 3.0 is bringing two to the party, Blind and Jolt. Blinded opponents in PvE won't be able to see and will also be disoriented and unable to fire their weapon. In PvP, blinded opponents will have their screen lighted out and their head removed for a short period of time alongside it is started, watched and audio effect. Jolted opponents in the damage will periodically send snippets of chain lightning out to nearby enemies, damaging them in the process. Arc 3.0 also democratizes Iona traces, which were previously available only to military nodes. Now available to all, traces are objects that, when collected, will add energy for all your abilities. Now that you are familiar with the basics, let's jump into the classes themselves to see how they'll be making the most of Arc 3.0. Hunter. A hunter dashing forward, crackling with the power of arc lightning, is a sight that is sure to strike fear in the heart of any enemy. As with previous subclass revamps, the team had definite images in mind when considering what a new arc should feel like in combat. For Hunter, the team imagined the graceful warrior monk, giving the hunter the ability to get in close quarters quickly and effectively make a mess of their opponents in the process. For hunters, we wanted to reward staying in close and being safe while you're in close quarters with an enemy, which is very difficult to do in a lot of our content, said Hobo. We wanted to give them tools to stay alive while they either closed the gap or were in a melee combo. That came primarily in giving them crowd control tools. To that end, the hunter's arm staff super is returning. With arm staff, hunters will be able to block and deflect projectiles with it.
Bye-bye, hunters. Once again, hunters are fucked for their arc. They don't get a new subclass. They're not getting their new subclass. They're still having arc staff, which is why I don't use arc. Once again, hunters are fucked. Keep going.
With arc staff, hunters will be able to block and deflect projectiles with a press of a button as well as perform an armored dodge where, upon dodging, the hunter is more resistant to incoming damage. But one super just didn't seem like enough to the team, thus the introduction of the brand new Arc Queen super, the Gathering Storm. Here, the hunter leaps into the air, throwing their staff into the ground like a spear. Upon impact, the staff emits a damaging burst that jolts nearby enemies. Soon after, a giant bolt of lightning strikes the staff and overcharges it, creating a large damage zone around it for several seconds. While even charged, the staff sends out arcs of lightning to damage any enemies that move near it. On the melee side, the team kept the hunter's combination blow ability.
It's basically the same thing. It's like that that bottom tree. I think it's bottom tree. It's one of those two, where it's basically like that.
The team kept the hunter's combination well, feeling like it was right in line with the graceful warrior fantasy that they were going for. Kills with combination number refund dodge energy, increase melee damage, and restore a small amount of health, allowing skilled hunters to chain their dodges and melee attacks into battle to boost beautiful fury. In addition, the facility low melee returns, blinding opponents with a devastating hard attack, while also now amplifying the hunter away. Hunters will be able to choose from 3 arc aspects to customize their tactical style. Flow state. Defeating a jolted opponent causes you to become amplified. When amplified, the hunter's dodge will recharge faster and make you more resistant to damage, and you have quicker reload times. Tempest Strike allows the hunter to perform a sliding melee that launches an arc wave along the ground, dealing significant damage and jolting enemies in its path. Lethal Current. After dodging, the hunter's melee lunge range is increased and their next melee attack jolts the target and creates a damaging lightning aftershock. When used with the Arc Staff Super, after dodging, the hunter's next staff light attack hits twice. In addition, hitting a jolted enemy with a melee attack will blind them. Finally, and on a particular note, Arc 3.0 will also bring back the blink movement mode for Arc hunters.
The blink for hunters.
Ability will also include the baseline Arc Blink access to it. Blink hasn't really been touched since Destiny 2 single progress release, and never quite reached the heights of its previous variant terror, Hypo said. We felt like this was a good time to walk a few of the tuning changes back a little, and bring Blink's potency at baseline up without needing an exotic equipped. In practical terms, that means an increased travel distance and a reworked recharge model for the ability that will keep it fresh while still maintaining its effectiveness. Warlock. Player fantasies don't come any more vivid than what the team had in mind for Arc 3.0 Warlocks. 2 separate images were top of mind: the Lightning Shaman and Emperor Palpatine in full Lightning Fingers mode while turning Luke Skywalker into burned toast. We wanted the player to feel like they are channeling the power of the storm through their body, said Dunn. Controlling the storm, controlling lightning like an elemental conduit. 2 supers will be available for Warlocks. Chaos Reach, where players will be able to shoot concentrated beams of arc energy out of their hands to decimate opponents. And Storm Trance, which is more akin to the image of Palpatine floating around the world, firing electricity from their fingers. This super combines both the landfall behavior from previous Golden Era and the ionic break behavior from the old Top 2 Law. Warlock can teleport briefly during the turn. Warlock will have 2 melees available, both utilizing the power of lightning. The ball lightning melee will send out a floating ball of arc energy that detonates, zapping enemies down from above. Chain lightning will send out arcs of lightning to strike and jolt the primary target and chain damage to surrounding enemies in the process. The Warlock's holdings that being amplified modifies their abilities. It powers them up, said Dunn. For lightning, if you're amplified, the arc ball will fly out and zap enemies 3 times instead of just the normal 1 time, so you can get more damage out of them. For chain lightning, it chains to more targets. More specifically, while normal chain lightning creates a single set of chains that falls between a separate number of targets when amplified. The ability creates 2 sets of chains, and can potentially jump to twice the number of enemies. 3 aspects will be available for Warlocks. Arc Soul. The warrior casts a rift to create an Arc Soul that will assist the player in battle. Allies who pass through the rift will also earn an Arc Soul. The rift charges faster when allies are near. While amplified, any Arc Soul you have or gain is supercharged, increasing its rate of fire. Lightning Surge. The Warlock activates their melee while sliding to transform into a ball of lightning and teleport forward, calling down a field of lightning bolts at the exit point that jolts targets. Electrostatic. devastating supers that are returning for Arc 3.0, Fist of Havoc and Thunder Crash. While the latter is practically unchanged from before, Fist of Havoc now has an adjusted slam radius that's halfway between top and bottom path, and the ground slam leaves a damaging field in its wake, while slamming from the air causes damaging ow effect. In the case of Thunder Crash, uncoupling of subclass abilities from the old subclass Diamond system will result in some substantial buffs depending on how players use it. It's one of the intrinsic advantages that the new subclass 3.0 system brings to Destiny. When you start pairing them with different things, even though nothing changed about the actual ability.
So they're keeping Titans the same, basically. Warlocks are the same, Hunters are the same. So, wow, that is crazy.
When you start pairing them with different things, even though nothing changed about the actual ability, they can end up getting significantly stronger as a result, because now they are locked into mechanics and groups that surrounded them, Timberlake said. Thunder Crash is a great example of that. One of the biggest changes coming to the Arc Titan is the new Thruster class ability. By double tapping a button while on the ground, the Titan bursts in their throttle direction and speed, performing a quick first-person evade, comparable in distance to a hunter's dodge. Arc is the damage type that is about mobility, so if we were going to add a mobility boost anywhere, it was going to be here.
So sorry about that one. I'll let you guys know I was talking to my brother. He's just coming by to get a couple things because he left it, me and him, shared a room in the old house. So he's coming around and getting a couple things. So I was telling him to leave a couple things. So I'll go get it later. So I just want to let you guys know that's what was going on. So let's get right back into it. If this video runs out of time, because I only have 20 minutes on this recording that I can do, I will swap over to the new one.
Arc is the damage type that is about mobility, so if we were going to add a mobility boost anywhere, it was going to be here, said Humboldt. For melee attacks, Titans will retain the Seismic Strike shoulder charge, which blinds enemies. Performing a Seismic Strike while amplifying.
Supreme! Let's go, Titans!
Performing a Seismic Strike while amplifying will increase the radius of the blind, and the blinding effect will last longer. Ballistic Slam also returns, where players can slam the ground after sprinting in the air, creating a damaging explosion upon impact.
Let's go. Titans are back! It's supreme! Titans are still supreme. What? Hold on, I lost everything, chat. No.
One of the biggest changes coming to the Arc Titan. The ground slam leaves a damaging field in its wake, while slamming from the air causes damaging ow effect.
It's fine.
In the case of Thunder Crash, uncoupling a subclass abilities from the old subclass Diamond system will result in some substantial buffs depending on how players use it. It's one of the intrinsic advantages that the new subclass 3.
So I'm a little... I think we're back to normal.
It's one of the intrinsic advantages that the new subclass 3.0 system brings to Destiny. When you start pairing them with different things, even though nothing changed.
Oh, we're back to normal.
They can end up getting significantly stronger as a
I'm so sorry about that, chat. It's If you guys want to dislike or leave because of that, I am so sorry. But I'm going to finish this. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm sorry about that issue. I didn't mean for that button to get clicked.
When you start hearing about those different things, even though nothing changed about the actual ability, they can end up being significant because now they are built into mechanics and one of them by double purpose event for melee, the earlier seismic ballistic slam.
Okay, that's where we were. Now I remember, because I was getting excited because I saw the ballistic slam back. So I am so sorry. I'm done trying to change it now.
Ballistic slam also returns, where players can slam the ground after those returning melees will be joined by a brand new charged attack known as Thunderclap. Here, the Titan player holds the melee button and charges up arc energy that can be unleashed in either a quick powerful jab or held and build up, to be unleashed in a furious One-Punch Man style blast that will devastate an opponent. The charged state cannot be stored and the Titan must be on the ground to charge the punch. The damage is significant. A 90% charged Thunderclap will one-shot Guardians in PvP. But that reward will be balanced by the time it will take to build up a charge level and the fact that you must remain
I'm sad now. I got excited and then now I have to stay stationary to charge it.
But that reward will be balanced by the time it will take to build up the charge level and the fact that you must remain stationary to charge. Always a dangerous move in PvP. Like the other subclasses, Arc 3.0 Titans will have three aspects to select from. Touch of Thunder, improves on grenades in the following ways. Flashbang, fires an additional blind impulse in its first pass. Arc, when the grenade damages an enemy, it creates an ionic trace for the Titan. Pulse grenade damage increases over time as the grenade lingers after impact. Lightning grants an additional charge for lightning grenade, and jolts targets on initial blast. Storm creates a roaming thundercloud that moves and tracks enemies, firing lightning bolts at the ground underneath it. Juggernaut, while sprinting and with full class ability energy, the Titan gains a frontal shield that blocks incoming damage. When amplified, the shield is stronger. Once the shield is depleted by taking damage, the player's class energy is depleted. Knockout, melee kills trigger health regeneration and make the Titan amplified. Critically wounding an enemy or breaking their shield increases melee range and damage for a brief period. Titan's base melee becomes arcing powered while knockout is active. To complement the class-specific aspects, Arc 3.0 will also introduce a suite of new fragments, which offer new perks to build upon as well as add bonuses to your Guardians and Princess stats. Here's a look at a few of the fragments to come.
Or you do it this way. I think we're about to run out of time. So depending on what happens, I will read.
Spark of Beacons. When the player is amplified, Arc special weapon kills create a blinding explosion. Spark of Resistance. When surrounded by enemies, the player has increased damage resistance. Spark of Momentum. Slide it over ammo with your melee weapon and grant a small amount of melee energy. Sliding over heavy ammo increases the amount of energy granted. Spark of Shock. The player's arc grenades jam enemies. In all, the changes that are coming with Arc 3.0 will give Guardians more ways to bring the pain to the enemies of humanity, while also letting players customize their Guardian to the way they want to play. Fans will have their first chance to see Arc 3.0 in action during next week's Fascinating Showcase, which is coming on August 23rd starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. Check it.
I will be live for that. But I'll be live instead of 7. Instead of 9, it'll be 7. And it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. pre-show, so I will be here for the pre-show, and then this is yeah, so I'll be here for the pre-show. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I wanted to take a sec to just remind you, if you guys are liking the video, please like the video and subscribe. It helps me out as a community, and it gives you up to date with all the channel content. And let's try to hit 1,000 followers by the end of next year, end of 2023. Let's try to do it. Please help me reach my goal. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.